And so when we are in touch with the depth of our own heart that is, expressive and expansive, that like the whale just wants to be itself, wants to leap out of the ocean, wants to express its nature because that's what's natural and joyful, then, the more we find ourselves freer, the more our beautiful qualities are liberated and can be shared, not just for the fulfillment of our own life, but for the benefit of all beings. So joy, as you'll probably notice from your own experience, bubbles forth with whenever there's sort of an unconditional quality. So it's so important that we actually disengage from this thing I taught extensively about in Relaxing into God called the superego. And some of you I've noticed on the Facebook page, just running into your superego, which is really an introjection of all the judgment and the criticism that you received as a child that's been internalized as a kind of a false compass, a false conscience that's always judging and assessing and commentating on how you're doing, whether you're getting it right or wrong, whether you're getting where you think you should, whether you're good enough, whether this is okay or not okay. And so, this faculty of the superego that one of you so beautifully described way back at the beginning of our journey together as feeling like a tight swimming cap on your head, contracting you, it definitely eclipses joy. And so it's really important if, as we continue with our practices and our time together, if you find any of that kind of negative chitch, judging, commentating, assessing, critiquing yourself, critiquing, judging other, if you find that, arising, I really encourage you just to stop for a moment, breathe, and as another participant has so beautifully shared with me, a teacher of hers once said, tell that voice to go to Tahiti and get laid. Just joke with it. Don't take it seriously. Don't listen. Don't let that dominate your consciousness. For inquiry and also for joy, ananda, to come forth, we really need an absence of that kind of internal commentary. So if you have trouble with that, I really recommend that you read on my website in the writing section an article called You Are Not a Problem to Be Fixed. And really study that work because it's very important if that's blighting your way. That's, from my own experience of working with people, the number one cause of disconnection from ananda, from joy. So I wanted to say something that A Course in Miracles says about joy that I love very much. It's beautiful. It says, joy is the natural state of every soul of God. So joy is the natural state, and you, my friends, are a soul of God, not just from God, of God. So joy is your natural state, but it also goes on to say that you are truly happy only when you know you abide in God. That is the only environment in which you will not experience strain, for that is where you belong. So it's very beautiful what it's saying there, that joy really comes ultimately from knowing that we abide, consciously abiding in God consciousness, knowing that that's what we are, who we are, where we are. When we know that deeply, our natural state is joyful. We are at home in ourselves. We can be free to be what we are, express what we are, give our gifts, live beautifully, serve, from the place of joy that is a state of grace, and it is our natural state. So often we get disconnected from our natural state in the same way that in the fall from grace in our early incarnation, we get disconnected from love, we get disconnected from strength, we get disconnected from power, we get disconnected from peace. So joy is an aspect of what we get disconnected from in the falling into separation, which I will remind you is not a mistake. It's just inevitably part of that first leg of the human journey. But it's not the whole journey. It doesn't have to be. So what helps us is to explore the blocks to joy, the things that constrict us and keep us separate from that which is our natural state.